Sorry if the player in this video thumbnail gives you nightmares, but I'm running out of real players that I can use. So Kemp is the first regen, or new gen if you prefer, to feature as the star player on the video thumbnail. Bit of a mashup with good old Mark Noble there. Anyway, welcome to episode 12 of the series. I hope you're having a good day. I hope you're still enjoying this series. I know plenty of you are. I keep getting nice comments and tweets saying really enjoying the laid back style old school football manager kind of series where I'm not focusing too much on trying to be ridiculously entertaining, uploading videos every day, etc. It's just me playing Football Manager and enjoying the game like I used to back at university. I'm whizzing through and I'm actually kind of addicted to the save for the first time in quite a long time actually. Having said that, I won't actually be able to play Football Manager over the next few days. I'm going to get withdrawal symptoms. I'm going to be away. So episode 13 may be uploaded in a week, possibly more. Just depends on things really. Let's get on with it then. So this is where you left me, halfway point of the Premier League season, our 6th season in charge of course. And we were running away with it. 54 points, 14 clear of Man City, having only lost one game, which was in fact against Man City. Also crashed out the Carabao Cup, so there's not going to be a quadruple this season unfortunately. And by the end of the January transfer window, we were still flying. Still top of the table by a long way. In fact, we've increased our lead. We've failed to beat Man City again though, a 1-1 draw. But look who's second. Leeds United are absolutely flying. I'm not entirely sure how they've managed this, but they are having a wonderful season. Look at some of our recent results. We destroyed Birmingham City 6-1. We won against our rivals in the FA Cup third round, put out a weaker team in that one. Beat Leicester City 4-2. But look at this against Liverpool. 3-1 win, and Kemp with 2 goals. He is absolutely flying down the wing. He's got 9 goals and 9 assists this season. Look at his average rating in the Champions League. Played 3 group matches, 2 goals, 2 assists, 8.53 rating, 7.91 in the Premier League. He's only just really broken into the first team as my main player on the wing. But he's kept his place there. He's keeping Skankov out of the team, our Ukrainian elite winger. Kemp is the future. He's actually been called up to the England team as well. Hasn't played, but oh, he's so superb, unbelievable. Anyway, January transfer window. I want to talk about this because I went a bit mad. I did actually post something on Twitter a few days ago because I have signed so many players in January. Look at this. So from January the 1st until the 31st, so many players have come in. Some of them are gambles. Some of them are actually players I signed a couple years ago. I think the first 3 I signed 2 or 3 years ago, but they've only just got old enough. Colombian players, they've only just become old enough to actually move to England. However, most of these players that I have signed don't have work permits. I'm having to loan them out. Most of them have gone out on loan already, I think, or about to go on loan. This is the 2nd Colombian that came in. He's got decent potential. Some of them will never make it at the club, but I can sell them on for a profit. Digber's come from Ivory Coast. This is a good team to scout, by the way. Sometimes I just look at the teams I know that produce decent players, get my scouts to have a look at them, because of course I can't actually see the attributes of the players, or all of the attributes of the players, because I've hidden them. Made this save as challenging as possible. 250k and 16 on crossing, 15 on dribbling, decent physicals. I think he could turn into a very good winger actually. Even if he doesn't play for us, we can sell him on. Another Colombian, a goalkeeper. He was 15 when I signed him. I think it's taken 3 seasons for him to actually come to England, but he's gone on loan straight away over to Portugal, get some experience over there. I always make sure they're at least a regular starter. Otherwise, there's no point loaning them out. They might as well play for the under-23. Although, to be fair, I can't actually loan out. I can't actually play players in my under-23s if they don't have a work permit. Then I've got some Americans that have come in. Now, I mentioned before that because I loaded the USA League in, for some reason, loads of regens have popped up. Some of them are very random teams. Virginia Beach United in the South Atlantic Division produced this player, and I was able to sign him for free. Kenneth Reynolds. Gotta love someone called Kenneth. Shout out to anyone watching called Kenneth. Unfortunately, I've not been able to loan him out, so he's kind of stuck here. Kevin Nava is probably the best American that I signed on a free transfer. He's got decent potential. He's a striker. He plays a deep line forward or a pressing forward, which suits our system. He's gone on loan to, is it Chavs? In Portugal anyway. He's gone to the same club as one of the Colombians. Then we've got Julian Ramirez, a Mexican, who I like the look of. He's already got 2-star current ability, got a bit of potential. He's 18 years old, defensive midfielder, doesn't necessarily fit into our system, but we could possibly train him up as a centre-back or a central midfielder, or maybe we'll end up playing a defensive midfielder eventually anyway. Of course we did do until recently. This is probably the biggest... Oh, actually, he's not bad. He's not bad. I thought when he came in, he didn't look very good. But having looked at him again, he's all right. He's worth a lot of money, mainly because I maybe bought him for £1.2 million. Perhaps that's why he's worth more, on 5k a week as well. He's gone to Oxford United anyway. Then we've got a Romanian who we signed, who's gone on loan to Coventry. I like the look of him. So these players, obviously, remember, Brexit didn't happen in this universe. So I don't have any problem signing players from EU countries. Don't need work permits or anything. This guy's good. I like the look of him. He's 17 on dribbling. He's got good pace and acceleration. There's some good attributes here. He should rip up League One. Jair Rodriguez or Hair, yeah, something like that. Colombian, being capped by the youth team. Another player with decent current ability already and could turn into a decent player. Cesar Sanchez, a Peruvian, worth quite a lot. Not bad. He's also gone on loan to the Portuguese Premier League. It's all about getting a good scout team. Not getting. My Essex is shining through there. I've got so many scouts. Look at this. Loads of scouts. They're all really good. Well, most of them are good anyway. Look at this chap. He's Colombian, which is why I'm able to find lots of Colombians, I think. I'm still not sure I'm actually doing scouting perfectly because I don't really have actual assignments. I've allowed my head scout to decide the assignments, and it's just on general. They just go around the globe looking for players. This is probably the best of the best that I've signed in January. He's the most expensive one, £8.75 million. I don't think there's any sell-on fees, though, which is a bonus. He's a wonder kid. He's a left winger. Well, he's a left midfielder. I'm going to train up to be a left winger. Crossing 17. Physically very good. Technique, determination, fairly determined personality. But the key is he's described as a wonder kid. We don't have a work permit for him, but hopefully we can eventually. Gone on loan to Hamburg in Germany. He looks special. Then we've got Igor Borodin, a Ukrainian, who is a left back, who we signed for £2.5 million. And lastly, Jose Lara, a Chilean, who's a defensive midfielder as well. Quite like the look of him. He's got some potential as well. He's gone on loan to the Bundesliga as well. So loads of signings. I went a bit crazy, but I just love it. I just love signing all these players. Now, going out of the club, the big one. Pablo Fornals has eventually left the club. He's been in and out of the team. Last year he was a main starter, of course. He's made lots of appearances for the club. But this year I've been trying to push the youth through, and he's had limited game time. At one point I probably could have sold him for about £60 million, but it was unrealistic to expect that considering he's now 28, so he's in his prime, and he is worth 58 million. But it's supply and demand, isn't it? You need the clubs that are interested in him, and unfortunately Lazio were the only club. But I got £46.5 million, which I think is a decent fee for a player who isn't a main starter for me, and it's a lot of money. We made profit on him, remember? So he's gone. Loads of players gone out on loan, of course, and also a youngster, Andy Smith, someone who's never going to get into the first team, has been sold to Southampton. So that is the busy January transfer window over. This is the squad. I've got a ridiculously big under-23 squad, if I just show you quickly, if it lets me. You're frozen on me. What are you doing, Football Manager? Here we go. Look at this. Scrolling. It's so big. Loads of players out on loan. If we look at the players overperforming or performing very well, Raimondo Cassini still doing very well for Sheffield United, who potentially could get promoted. Will Palmer playing well for MK Dons in League One. And our Russian winger, Nikiforov, is playing very well for Montpellier. I still can't get a work permit from him, even though he's played 6 times for Russia. A little bit irritating, that. So a couple months have passed. It's now the end of March, and we've already qualified for the Champions League. In fact, we're very close to actually winning the Premier League. We are so far ahead of Man City in second place. We've drawn a second game. We drew against Wolves. But this is ridiculous. 91 goals scored, 18 conceded as well. We are flying, and we're also doing well in all the other competitions. We beat Roma in the first knockout round of the Champions League. We beat them 5-1 on aggregate. Cameron Kemp with 3 of the goals. What a player he is. Belotti's banging in the goals as well. He's up to 31 goals in 31 appearances this season. Now I have given him a new contract, a 2-year contract. I know he's 31 and I said would phase out players when they reach 30. But I can't get rid of him. He's an elite striker. He's still scoring. It doesn't look like he's declining. He will eventually. I can't get rid of a player that is just scoring so many goals though. And in the summer, if there is a big bid for him, I'd probably sell him. We can't let him go for free in the summer. That is criminal. I cannot do that. Yeah. So we're hanging on to him. He's just playing so well. In the FA Cup, we're flying as well. We've just gone through to the semi-final. Playing the youngsters as well. Lewis Shepherd, one of our wonder kids, came through the academy, is still improving. I mean, it is remarkable. Some of the players that are coming through for us. And I'm giving them contracts, making sure they're here for a long term, and having so much fun at the same time. Cameron Kemp, 21 goals and 14 assists. He's insane. Katala as well. Described as a wonder kid, 20 years old, worth 32 million. I mean, this team, it's amazing. Sorry, I'm getting a bit excited. It's meant to be a calm, relaxed, laid-back style, but I'm just getting so excited by the players that are coming through my youth system. And I mean, Shepherd and Katalo and Kemp all came through the academy. We are producing really good players. Unfortunately, this year, I'm not so excited about the players that have come through, but there is one who does look decent. Maxime Guerina, a Belgian. He's come through our academy though. Of course, we've got really wide reach now for our youth recruitment. He's playing in a position we don't really play though, but I could probably transform him into a central midfielder. But he's the one standout from this year's youth academy. There's a couple others that potentially could do it. Barry Bruce, cracking name. Look at this. 105 points. 30 points clear of second place Tottenham Hotspur. Wow. What a special season. 34 wins, 3 draws. We drew against Newcastle as well. And 1 defeat. That one blemish is really annoying. We have gone unbeaten before, remember. If we just go back in time, all the way back to the 2021-22 season. 96 points, but we've ended up with 9 more this year. 105 goals scored, only 21 conceded. There are some people that don't believe I'm doing this. I've had the odd comment saying I'm a cheat, etc. People that probably haven't watched my channel before and have just tuned in for the first time. It is possible to do this. If the tactic, the gegenpress tactic overall is pretty powerful on FM20. But of course, I've now signed world-class players, and we've got this team that have played well together for a long time now. They've gelled, there's good chemistry. We've got some players that have been here for a long, long time, like Declan Rice, who's our club captain, who just solidifies the team. And once you just get used to a save, and it just clicks, everything clicks. It has been a special, special season, and we're into the FA Cup final and the Champions League final. We beat Benfica in the quarterfinals. 5-2 on aggregate. Belotti with 4 goals across those 2 ties. We beat Man City 3-1 in the FA Cup semi-final. Cameron Kemp with another goal. We beat Juventus 4-2 on aggregate. We've beat Spurs 3-1 last day of the season. What a season. What a special season. We've got Newcastle in the FA Cup, so that should in theory be fairly easy. And then Barcelona in the Champions League final. I'm glad they've got to another final. My Spanish team. Got a Barcelona scarf. Never been there. I really should go there considering they are my Spanish team. We're playing at the Johan Cruyff Arena in the Netherlands. 65,000 seater stadium. Unfortunately, Cameron Kemp has dropped off a bit. He was absolutely unstoppable for most of the season. When he got into the team and was starting, unplayable. But he's slightly out of form. He's got 24 goals and 14 assists this season, though, in a ridiculous average rating. He has been the one... Well, I mean, not just the one star of the season. Everyone's been a star, but he has just risen above everyone. Although, to be fair to him, Belotti got the highest average rating. Dilrosun picked up the Premier League Player of the Season award. If we just have a look, Belotti top goal scorer, Dilrosun highest average rating and most assists. Cameron Kemp on there, though. Look at his average rating. Adora with the most clean sheets. And if we just look at the awards for the first time, we have a different winner of the Premier League Player of the Season award. Salah has won it every single season, but Dilrosun has picked it up with 14 goals and 18 assists. He's had another fabulous year for us. Golden Glove, of course, Aduro. Goal of the season. We didn't have anyone featuring that one this time round. I'm Manager of the Year for the 4th season in a row. Players Player of the Year, also Dilrosun. Players Team of the Year featured Aduro, Aarons. Look at the back four. Aarons, Todibo, Martinez and Pellegrini. But bad news. Our 2 world-class centre-backs, Todibo and Martinez, are injured for these 2 finals. We're going to have to play Peroso and Cardoso. A very capable centre-back partnership. But for that Champions League final, that could be the difference between us winning and losing. They actually both featured in the World Team of the Year. The only 2 players from West Ham to feature, and they were the centre-back partnership, quite interestingly. So they are quality players. Dilrosun, Skankov and Belotti. I don't know why Kemp's not in this. He should really be in the Team of the Year. He's not even young player of the year. Phil Foden, at the age of 24, picks it up. He is so good. I wish I'd signed him, because they actually bought him for £73 million from Man City. They've put together a really good team. I'm not surprised they finished second this year, because they've had a really good few years. And interestingly, Pep Guardiola is in charge of the club. I'll just show you the top few teams. Man City currently don't have a manager. They've sacked Allegri. They did have Pellegrini as well. At Liverpool, still have Klopp. They've held on to him despite finishing down in 4th place this year. They almost missed out in the Champions League to Leeds. They just couldn't quite get over the line. Man United have Dieter Hecking, and Chelsea have Steve Clarke. Remember, he won the Euros of Scotland in the summer and he moved to Chelsea. There's one player I really want from this Chelsea team that will improve my team, but he's going to cost so much money and I don't know if it's possible. I tried to get my board to sign him, but they couldn't. Kenneth Momo. Another Kenneth. He's from Nigeria. He's got 38 caps for his country and he's a goalkeeper. He's the one player that I want. Look at him. 97 rating on the scout summary. He's better than... I mean, Odoro's been really good for us. But I think next level is Kenneth. And also, he's young. So I want a really young goalkeeper who's world class. And he's basically the only one that fits that bill. I'd love him, but he's just going to cost so much money. But the one blessing this year is that they have missed out on Champions League. They possibly might have missed out on the Europa League as well. I think if Newcastle beat us, it would mean that Chelsea actually don't get into the Euros. But I want to beat Newcastle. I'm not going to lose on purpose. There's actually only one player that has a higher rating than Kenneth, according to my scouts. And it's this wonder kid. He's already world class. He's basically the next Messi. Gustavo Pesero plays for Argentina. 4 goals in 3 games for his country. I'm so disappointed my scouts missed out on him, because they signed him for £10 million last summer. 10 million. And look at him now. How did I not find this guy? How did my scouts not see this guy? It's so annoying. Let's take a look at our youth system then. As I said in the last episode, I think the last couple of episodes, this is becoming more and more important and more enjoyable as well. I'm absolutely loving this. I do like the development centre. I think it's a great addition to FM20. You can just see the players that maybe need some attention, and also the players that are playing particularly well. And also, it suggests players to go into the first team. Lesage will go into the first team next year. He's been on loan at Birmingham City. He's got a whole Premier League season behind him. Lots of experience. Of course, he was the star in the Champions League final last time around. But he was going to be probably 3rd choice right back this season. So it made sense to loan him out. He might have moved ahead of Amato, our young Italian wonder kid. We've got 2 right back wonder kids, but no left back wonder kids, which is a bit of a shame. He's had a decent season considering Birmingham were always going to struggle. They actually finished up in 13th in the end. They easily survived, so I'm pleased that he was part of that squad. Looking at the players out on loan, Lara did very well in the Bundesliga. Scored a goal, got 2 assists, but he's a defensive minded player, so he's done really well. Good average rating. Will Palmer played particularly well for MK Dons. Ballon, very good as well at Coventry City. And Morelli for Portsmouth. I think he kept them up, or helped keep them up. Yes, comfortably, actually finished 14th. They got. Oh, by the way, Falcao is in charge of Portsmouth. Pretty random. Cassini dropped off. He had a very good first half to the season. They were playing him all over the place. There was no consistency. He actually played better, I think, in central midfield for them. And when he actually was played in his natural position, probably because of the Sheffield United system, he didn't quite score as many goals. He got 19 in the Championship in the end. 4 man of the matches, good average rating. And Sheffield United dropped off. They were top. and they dropped completely out of the playoffs, unfortunately. And Cassini finished joint second top goal scorer. But a very good year for him. He's improved as a player, and he'll come back and possibly get into my first team. The problem is we do have strikers. We've got Botero, we've got Holguin, our American, and of course we've kept hold of Belotti as well. Just talking about my strikers, actually. Obviously, Belotti has been phenomenal, and he has reached 40 goals. He's beaten his record from last year, and he's got these 2 finals to play as well. So I'm delighted that he's got to 40 goals. 40 goals in 39 appearances is sensational. Holguin, our American, has got 13 goals, and I'm tempted to sell him. It doesn't quite seem right having this player because of the weird American thing that happened. Not just because of that, but because he's 26. He's in his prime. He's not like he's a 19-year-old that we're trying to bring through. We've signed him in his prime, and I'd rather play Botero. He only got 2 goals this year. He had limited football because I was playing the American. And I do want him to push on. I want him to be a star for us in the future. I don't know. I just think I could probably sell him for a decent profit. We got him for 20 million. And we've got these other strikers coming through. I'd rather focus on the youth and have one older player in Belotti and then the rest of them be young. That's probably what I want in an ideal situation. Anyway, went a bit off topic there. So Cassini's had a good season but dropped off. Todorov went out on loan again to Walsall. He is the biggest disappointment of this series so far for me. He's been capped by Bulgaria once now, but he had so much potential, and this loan at Forest Green was brilliant. He really pushed on. I actually brought him into the first team, but he did struggle, to be fair, in the 3 games that he played. So I did move him back to go back out on loan. He went to Portsmouth, didn't work for him, so he moved into Burton. That did work for him, but he didn't play many games. He went back to Forest Green in the Championship, and he did all right, but he just didn't improve, and the last couple loans haven't quite worked for him. He got 4 assists. I mean, he did actually help Walsall to win to win League One, but I'm really sad that it just has. I really thought he was going to be our main left winger for a long time to come, but not going to happen. And I think I'm going to have to sell him. I did give him a new contract just so he wouldn't leave on a free. He's got 2 years left. So we'll see if we can get a couple million for him, I think. And Nikarov, he dropped off a bit as well, actually. But he did get 10 goals and 2 assists in Ligue 1. Had a good season. Things are declining for him. But I think we can rescue him. I think he'll be a good player. Possibly not for us, but we probably can sell him for a decent amount. And you can see all the other players. We had so many players out on loan. Under 23s, look at this. We're obviously still playing friendlies mainly. But we did win the Leasing.com trophy for the 2nd season in a row. We beat Salford. Look at that. Beat Wigan and Salford so far in this competition. I know people don't really like the fact there's Premier League under 23 teams in there, but it's our one main trophy, one actual competitive trophy for the under 23, so it's an important competition for us to feature. And some of the wins we've had as well, we won 17-0, 14-0, 10-0, 10-0. It's because we're playing really weak teams at times. I'm mixing it up. Sometimes we're playing Man United under 23s, other times we're playing Bangor City. It just depends really on who I can get a friendly with. But there's so much potential in this team. And the one player, well, there's 2 players. There's one in particular that's really impressed me and pushed on. Dan Suarez, 22 assists, really good average rating. I thought he was going to be a decent player, but I didn't think he was going to actually be a possible first choice midfielder for us. He really could be. He's only 17. He's improved dramatically this year. He's up to 4-star potential. If we look at his progress, that's his potential ability progress, I think. No, his current ability progress. He's got lots of potential. If we look at his attributes and see how he has grown, you can see there's been a lot of growth there. And he only came through our academy last season, remember. So he's only been here a year, and he has grown significantly. Richard Robinson as well. Now, I'm training him up as a ball-playing defender. He's playing that position all the time for the under-23s. He's got some real potential as well. And once again, a player that has improved. Hasn't gone up quite as much as Suarez has, but I think he could be a star for us one day as well. Digba, really like the look of him since coming in January. He's got serious potential. There's a lot of potential here. Under 18s as well, there's been some very impressive performances from us. We didn't do as well this year. We finished down in 3rd in the Division 1 South, which is actually our worst placing so far. But I'm mainly concentrating on the under-23s. The Belgian chap has now got 4-star potential. He could turn into a really, really good player. We've produced so many potential wonder kids and players that have turned into wonder kids. during this series. Of course, I have improved everything to the maximum that I possibly can. Looking at the facilities, remember we've got superb training facilities, state-of-the-art youth facilities. We are going to be increasing the training facilities as well, and we'll continue to make sure we've got the best of the best. We have to do that. I think I'm an icon. Yeah, I'm on the icons list at last. I have no idea what I need to do to become a legend. Perhaps if I win a 3rd Champions League in a row today, then I will be on that legends list. Just before we get on with this FA Cup final, sorry I'm rambling, but hopefully you're enjoying this. A lot of people are enjoying the in-depth style to this series. I know it's laid back, but I'm going in-depth as well. So looking at the youngsters in the first team, there has been some serious growth as well over the years for the likes of Kemp. Look at this. He's dropped off lately. It's weird. He was rising high, doing extremely well, but suddenly his current abilities... I don't really know. This is a terrible graph because it's not in relation to anything. If you had the in-game editor, you'd probably be able to see the actual number, but I wanted this to be a pure Football Manager save. Nothing like that involved whatsoever. We can't use the editor. So he's been here obviously since he was young, when he came through the academy. Look at this! He has improved in every attribute apart from 3, and some of the growth is phenomenal. He's got +6 in anticipation, +5 in technique, passing, dribbling, everything. He's just been absolutely sensational. The same for Lewis Shepherd, if we look at him. Likewise, massive growth this year, but also since he was 17. Determination down by 1, but that's it. Everything else is really, really high. Katala, likewise. I think he's really great. And you'll notice I've given new contracts. They're on big money now. Katala's actually on the biggest one of these 3, strangely, even though he's probably the worst one. But he has grown significantly as well since he started at the club. Botero, he obviously hasn't had the best season, but he has continued to impress. He scored plenty of goals in the under-23s. You can see he has improved as a player as well. The one player I haven't really talked about, Turso, who came into the team last summer, has played a handful of games for the first team. Lots of games for the under-23s. If you look at this, 30 goals for the under-23s and 15 assists this season, which is why he's in the first team. He's not been here long, but likewise he's improving as well. The one player I would have hoped more from is Kurt Christensen, our backup goalkeeper. The problem is he doesn't really play a huge amount of football, but he has improved since he came to the club. The reason why I need a much better goalkeeper is because Christensen hasn't improved as I hoped he would, I suppose. Even players like Diangana, you know, he's back up now. He's got a few goals this year, but he has improved a lot as well since the start of the save. Of course, I think it was 21, 22 at the very start. If we look back a few years, you can see he has improved significantly as a player. He's got in the England team, but he's not been capped, unfortunately. Kemp hasn't quite been capped either, but he's also got into the England team. It won't be too long until he's in that starting lineup, I think. Max Aarons continues to impress. Not sure what's going on at the moment, but he's actually got the highest star rating at the moment out of anyone. Germano's had a really good season. First year at the club. Brazilian, 3 caps, 1 goal for his country. There's been some standout performances. We'll have a look at that at the end of these 2 matches. Let's get on with this FA Cup final then. We've never lost against Newcastle. We've hardly lost any games, remember, in the whole 6 seasons now. So this is the lineup. Belotti, Dilson, Germano, Kemp, Rice. Our captain, still improving. He's 26 now. What a player. Olmo, almost forgotten about him. Talking about all the youngsters. Pellegrini, Cardoso, Perozzo, Aarons and Odero. So we've got the second choice backup centre-backs in there, but they're very capable. They're good centre-backs. Cardoso is a Portuguese international with 12 caps. Perozzo's an Ecuadorian international with 38 caps. He's been wanted by Juventus and Man City quite recently as well. Newcastle have Callum Wilson up front. He was signed by Liverpool, but recently he's moved to Newcastle on a free. They've got a region on the right-hand side. Let's have a look at him. We've got a significantly better team. They've got a good player in central midfield, Sergio Gomez, and their captain, Lascelles. Good player. Let's go. We should easily beat this Newcastle team, but this is when you can get complacent. Let's go for that one. It's not really worked, but I'm slightly worried about complacency in this game, and also they might be thinking, oh, we got the Champions League final soon. I don't want to get injured. We're going attacking from the start. Let's get creative. Oh no, Cameron Kemp's injured. That is a really bad start to this game. We're going to bring on Skangov. Cameron Kemp had such a phenomenal season. I wanted you to see him in all his glory, and he's got injured after 10 minutes. Corner. Dillerson crosses it in. And, oh, it's knocked over. I think it's like a thumbnail curse. I think Max Aarons was injured for the Champions League final, wasn't he? And he featured on the thumbnail. And a few other times I think it's happened. 24 minutes in. This has been a terrible FA Cup final so far. Often is the way, though. Here's Olmo, though. Easy save for Woodman in goal. I'm sure Newcastle are playing fairly defensive, so I'm going to go very attacking. But this has been a dreadful FA Cup final, but perhaps we can score a goal at the death of this first half. Here's Cardoso into Perozzo. Declan Rice out wide to Dillerson. Crosses it in. Oh, there we go. What a cross that was. And Germano, our Brazilian, with the finish at the back post. But did you see the curl on that? It kind of curled two different directions. I could have... It's what it looked like to me anyway. Let's watch this again. Declan Rice into Perozzo. Decent ball out wide to Dillerson. But look at the cross. It curls. Yeah, it kind of curls out and then in. Interesting. Brilliant cross. And good finish by Germano. So we've got the goal. It's not been a great game. I'm actually going to say don't get complacent, which has worked in terms of the reaction anyway. And we will continue to attack. Here we go. Cardoso. Finds space around the back. Dillerson crosses in. Belotti! So close to his 41st goal of the season. And Dillerson will take the corner again. Cleared. There's another chance. Free kick this time. It's just been set pieces really. Dillerson to take it. Whips it. Oh, beautiful free kick. 15th goal of the season for him. Sometimes he just produces a magical free kick goal. We saw it last season in the Champions League final, of course. And this is another moment. The keeper just doesn't really move, does he? We'll go back to normal attacking now. That's headed away, but Wilson now on the ball. He just let Skankov take it from him. Knocked up the pitch for Belotti. Belotti, oh, look at that. Look at him go. Germano now on the ball. Germano into the box. Keeps going. Brilliant one-on-one save by Woodman. And it's crossed in, headed away. I think that's probably the end of that highlight. Let's make a change. Not been Belotti's day, has it? I think we'll bring Max Aarons off for Amato, our Italian wonder kid. Aarons is on a yellow, no point in risking him. He's also quite tired. Here's Amato into Skankov. To the edge of the box. Pellegrini can't get there. And now Newcastle on the attack with Adekanyi. Where's the defence? Come on, Perozzo. Into the box. I thought there was going to be a penalty there, but no, it's a goal for Callum Wilson. Complacency for you. It's not been Belotti's day. We're going to bring on Holguin. It might be his last appearance for the club. I was hoping to bring Shepherd or Katala on, but we've brought one of... Actually, we haven't. We brought one of our youngsters off because he got injured. We brought Amato on, I suppose. It's not been the greatest final, has it? And it's disappointed to concede a goal like that. Oh, now Dillerson's picked up a knock right ahead of the Champions League final. We're missing our two world-class centre-backs. And now we're missing possibly Kemp. And this is a goal. Yep, it's a goal for Holguin. That was too easy. 3-1. Just lumped over by Pellegrini from a free kick. What was the defence doing? Holguin's not complaining, though. Tucked it away easily. 4 minutes of injury time left. It's not been a classic, but we've scored 3 goals. Actually, all 3 goals, did they come from set pieces in the end? This is a... oh, they've got another one. We're sloppy at the back here. We've not been good defensively in this second half. And the scoreline might suggest it has been a classic FA Cup final. You often see 0-0s, but... I don't know. It's not. I wouldn't say it's been the most exciting game. We've won it though. We've won 3-2, but I'm still not entirely happy with that. And it just shows how far I've come for me not to be that happy with a 3-2 win in an FA Cup final. It shows that we are missing our centre backs, our first 3 centre backs. Although I think Amato is probably to blame for the last one, possibly for the first one as well when he came off the bench. I will say, I think I'd just say I'm happy. We want to keep the confidence high ahead of the Champions League final. I'm not going to be too harsh on them for winning the FA Cup final, am I? But is Dillerson injured? That's the key. Kemp's injured. Oh, don't think he's going to be back in time. Is there no Dillerson injury? I think he might be okay. He was man of the match. He's good. He's tired, but hopefully he'll be back and ready for the Champions League final. Well, this is the big one then. Barcelona in the Champions League final. I've made one change to the starting lineup. Skankov has come in for Kemp. He's fit enough to be on the bench, but not in perfect condition. Richard Robinson is on the bench today. We were allowed 12 subs, which is why I'm able to put some of the other youngsters onto the bench. Good experience for them. Barcelona then. They signed Lautaro Martinez from Man City for £97 million in January. They have a top-class striker up front. Ousmane Dembele on the right-hand side. Messi's long retired, by the way. He's an assistant manager in Argentina, I think. They've got Dybala, though, who they signed for £86 million a few seasons ago. Everton on the left-hand side. They've got a quality team. Mariba, young Spanish midfielder, and Bernardo Silva, who's 30 years old now. They signed him for £80 million from Man City. They've got a regen left-back, a wonder kid, an Italian wonder kid, Laporte. They signed him from Man City as well for £47.5 million. They spent big. Umtiti's still around. And at right-back, they've got Cancelo, who they signed for £36 million. And in goal, they've still got ter Stegen, who is their captain. So they've got some quality, as you'd expect from a Barcelona team. Well, that seems to have worked nicely. Let's just see. Let's just trust the assistant with that one, I think. I hardly ever do these. I can't be bothered. Sometimes they go on forever. Let's get on with this. Can we win a third Champions League final in a row? We've been unbelievable in the Champions League, haven't we? Ever since we got to it, we've reached the final. It's been sensational. Olmo, up the pitch for Belotti. Into Dilrosun. This is great play from us. It's to Germano, who scores again. Another final goal for him. 13th goal of the season. What a brilliant counter-attack. Dilrosun with the assist. But it was brilliant team play. Belotti did well. Found Dilrosun, who ran at the Barcelona defence. Germano, as that shadow striker, often finds pockets of space. And he found it again, and he found the back of the net as well. 1-0 already. Brilliant start to this final. That was in the second minute, wasn't it? Here's Perozzo playing out from the back. Cardoso, good ball out wide to Pellegrini. Oh, we're going to be too much for Barcelona here. I hope so. Pellegrini crosses it in. Belotti's headed away. Skankov, 2-0. Unbelievable start to this game. Unbelievable. Pellegrini just kept going, didn't he? Great running from the Italian left back. Put a brilliant cross in. It was just nodded away, so he doesn't quite get the assist. Great strike from the Ukrainian inside forward, though. Another highlight already, but this time for Barcelona, also playing out from the back. We've both got similar styles, really. Although Barcelona aren't quite gegenpress, are they? Traditionally, anyway. But they do like to play out from the back, of course. Here's ter Stegen into Umtiti. Out wide to Cancelo, who can run. Down the right-hand side, he's got space. Dilrosun trying to keep up with him. And wins it easily and clears up the pitch. But that's gifted away, unfortunately. And Dilrosun intercepts again and clears once more. And this time Skankov can get there. And now he's running with it. Look at him go. He's had a good season, but obviously he's played second fiddle to Kemp for a large portion of the season. Here's Max Aarons to Olmo. Olmo to Germano again. Dilrosun. Are we going to have a shot? He is! It's off the post. Really good effort. I'm tempted to sell Skankov. Barcelona have actually been interested in him. He has played well, but Cameron Kemp is the future. That's headed away. Been plenty of highlights inside the first few minutes of this final. That way to Laporte, crosses it in, and easy for Adoro. Do I go balanced now? Or cautious even? And we know Barcelona's going to attack. I think my attacking tactic is quite counter-attacking anyway, regardless of what philosophy I have. Here's Dilrosun into the box. Oh, great save by ter Stegen. He hit that with power, didn't he? It seems to be glitching a bit here. Max Aarons, Belotti. He's onside as well. I thought he was slightly offside. We're 3-0 up. How are we doing this? We're finding Barcelona easier than Newcastle. We've really turned up today, haven't we? I am actually going to go balanced now. There's no point going crazy. Great finish by Belotti, and I'll probably switch the fullbacks to be in support at some point as well. Dilrosun with a corner. That's headed away. Perozzo's after it. I don't know why it's I don't know if it's showing up on the video, but for me it's sort of a little bit jittery. I'm not sure why. Hopefully it's not my computer. Pellegrini back to Adoro. Into Perozzo. Just look at the way we play. It's wonderful at times. Max Aarons. And we're just keeping hold of possession. Back to Adoro. Into Cardoso. Up. That's poor. We did keep hold of it that time. Here's Cancelo running through. And he's going to have the shot. He keeps going. Oh, really good save by Adoro. I'm just going to tell the fullbacks to sit back a little bit now. They don't need to push forward quite as much. And the corner will be taken by Bernardo Silva. Whipped in. Headed away by Declan Rice. And Germano can bring this clear. And suddenly it's gone quiet. 32 minutes in. This is the first highlight for a while. Barcelona in possession. Clearing it. and keeping hold of the ball. Mariba up to Lautaro. Out wide, but Max Aarons easily intercepts, but gives it away. That was poor. Now I trip it over each other, but here's Olmo. Back to Cardoso. Perozzo. Look at the swift play from our defenders. Out wide to Max Aarons again. And he plays it to Perozzo, who just lumps. That's a classic centre-back lump, isn't it? Belotti onto it, though. Back to Olmo. Olmo. Here he is again. To Dilrosun. Right-footed. 4-0. This is... indescribable. We're beating Barcelona 4-0 in the Champions League final after 33 minutes. And now it's a corner. Dilrosun to take it. Back post. Oh, it's almost crept over the line there. Ter Stegen just about kept it out. We've only had one clear and half chance, but we're winning 4-0. Here's Dembele. Not brilliant defending from Pellegrini there, and that's fired wide. Playing out from the back there, just as I'm having a swig of water. Perozzo into Max Aarons. And now he can run. It's up to Skankov. He can cut in, maybe. Let's have a look. It's back to Max Aarons. Crosses it in. Easily held by Ter Stegen that time. Oh, there's just so many highlights in this game. Olmo wins it brilliantly. Germano now. Look at him dribble. Look at that. Brilliant. And he's still going. Germano goes all the way back to Pellegrini. And he finds Declan Rice into Olmo. Oh, brilliant. And it's fired wide. But that was exquisite. Oh, it's a free kick to Barcelona. Maybe they're going to score here with Dybala. They are. It's a beautiful free kick. But they've had to rely on a direct free kick goal to get back into this game. At half time, it's 4-1. Absolutely sensational. 61 minutes in, nothing's happened in the second half. We're going to make some changes. I'm going to bring Diangana on. I think he deserves some game time. He might be sold in the summer as well if there's a really decent bid for him. He's obviously on the edge of the first team these days. And I'm going to bring Wagnerman on as well. He's not played as much as he probably would have hoped. Pellegrini's had a good solid season this year. And the last change will probably bring on a youngster. Wagnerman heads away. Here's Diangana, who knocks it over the top. Great ball to Belotti. Belotti through. Belotti! One-on-one. Good save by Ter Stegen. Oh, he was offside anyway, apparently. I think we'll probably take... I'm going to throw Bitoro on. We've obviously got Catano, Kemp, Shepherd on the bench, which I'm sure you want to see. But next season might be the year when they become the main starters. Let's give the Colombian a chance. He's only got 2 goals this season. It'd be nice if he can get a goal in the Champions League final. But unlikely to happen. It's been a very poor second half. We've taken our foot off the gas. Barcelona have probably accepted defeat. Declan Rice up to Diangana there. He finds Germano, lovely play, and here goes the Brazilian running at the defence. Here's Bitoro's through. Can he score? Oh, it's wide. I thought it was going in. Flashed it wide of the post. That would have been the perfect end to this game. But yeah, it's been a disappointing final. Often is the way. You know, I'd love to have scored a couple more goals, but not to be. Here's Olmo. Just a minute left to go. Danny Olmo out wide to Skankov. He's played the full 90. Here he goes with his ginger hair. Dribbling. Loses the ball there. It's a little bit poor, but Cardos is after. I think this will probably just be the last highlight of the game. And we can celebrate our win in the Champions League again. Unbelievable season. Keep saying that. Unbelievable is the word of the episode. Here's Germano. Oh, it's cleared. Cardoso. Been some nice goals from us. The first half an hour in particular was just insane from us. We were just unstoppable. We came out the traps and destroyed Barcelona. We were just way too much for them. And it's just been such an enjoyable win. And thank you for watching. Thank you for watching another Champions League win. And another FA Cup win. And another Premier League win. Love it. Well, we won the quintuple, apparently, because of the Community Shield and the European Super Cup, of course. But I want the proper quadruple. I want to win the Premier League, the Champions League, the FA Cup, and the Carabao Cup. That Carabao Cup's proving a little bit of elusive. We've won it once, but perhaps I just need to take it a bit more seriously, and it will come in the end. 3 times in a row. That is rather special. Of course, Liverpool have managed it during this save. They won 1 in real life and won the first 2 Champions League titles of this save, then PSG, but we've won the last 3. We've reached 5 finals in a row. All 5 times we've qualified, we've reached the final. Karen Brady's happy. Not easy to please. Forgot to say, by the way, just before the Champions League final, I was given a new contract. They asked for one. I deserve one. So I've got a 5-year contract. They wanted 4. I negotiated 5 to bring down my wage. I think they offered 235k, but I don't need 235k. 155. That's more than enough for me. Up to 5 stars now, by the way. Let's end today's video quickly then by taking a look at the awards and then just the player stats. So Dilrosun picked up the Fans Player of the Season award. I think that's the 2nd time in a row, isn't it? Belotti 2nd with Max Aarons 3rd. Goal of the season. Let's have a look at that in a second. Cameron Kemp, Young Player of the Season. That's the team of the season. Kemp is on the right-hand side there. Shepherd in midfield ahead of Olmo. That's interesting. Something to consider as well. I mean, do we sell Olmo? We could get a huge amount of money for him. But it's the thing of, if you transfer list a player, then suddenly teams will think, well, we can put in a lower bid here because they don't want him or he wants to leave. Whereas we kind of have to hope that a team puts in a ridiculous bid for him. He's worth £82 million, which is the most valuable player at the club. He had a very good season, but I guess we just need to think about the future. So this is the goal of the season. It's a brilliant strike. I think it's probably given it to him as well because he dribbled from inside his box, but there was literally no one trying to win the ball from him. And that's the season review. Where are they now? By the way, Haller scored twice against me in a game against Leicester this year. We were on 4-2, but he did score twice. Antonio is playing for Karabag. That is pretty random. Jack Wilshere playing in China. No, South Korea, sorry. For Suwon. Belotti picked up the Golden Boot Award for the 3rd season in a row in the Champions League. That was the dream team. Aarons, Skangov, Rice, Dilrosun and Belotti. Manager of the month. Blah, just picking up so many awards. Anyway, let's have a look at the players then. So the most starts this year was for Adoro. Probably the most appearances as well, looking at that. Goals-wise, Belotti. 41 goals in 41 appearances in the end. What a striker he is. Unstoppable at times. Cameron Kemp, 2nd top goal scorer. I know he's dipped in the last 5 games, but what a season. The first proper... I mean, he played for us last year, on and off. Got a couple goals and an assist. But this year was just next level for him. 21 goals and 13 assists. And a 7.54 average rating in all competitions is remarkable. Dilrosun with 16, Skankov with 15, Holgren with 14 and Germano with 13. So lots of players getting over 10 goals this season. Assist-wise, Dilrosun, 25 assists in all competitions. What a player this guy is. He's 26 now, so he's in his prime. Don't think he's going to get any better. Kemp with 13, Olmo with 13. So Olmo did play well. His just average rating is not quite as strong from that central midfield position, I don't think. Perhaps doesn't quite get the best out of him. And then Max Aarons with 12, Pellegrini with 11, Skankov with 10. Man of the match wise, it was Belotti with 9, and then average rating, once again, Belotti at the top, then Cameron Kemp and Dilrosun, Max Aarons. Look at all these ratings. It's been a remarkable season. Wage wise, we are spending a lot of money on wages now. There's numerous players on 200k. I don't want to go above that. I'm just trying to keep it as that's currently the top. I think eventually it will probably climb, and then we'll have a new top limit to our wage structure. But at the moment, I'm trying to make sure 200 is the top. We even gave Pellegrini a new contract. Didn't increase his wage, but his loyalty bonus and appearance fees and that sort of thing have gone up. But just the sort of base rate, 200 is the highest. Max Aarons on 190. We've got so many players on over 100k now, and lots of players just under. And then looking at the value, look at that, Olmo, 82 million. Dilrosun, 7. We could get so much money if we sold the likes of Olmo and Skankov, who are in their prime, and then bring through these youth who are waiting and actually playing better than some of these players at times. That is the financial situation of the club. I am actually spending under the wage budget at the moment, which has been increased to 3.9 million. Got 98.5. The board are reluctant to kind of go overboard with the budget. That they could probably give me £200 million, but I think I've been given about £95 million this summer, which is less than what we've actually... They've not actually given me any more budget because we had £98 million left over after the January transfer window. And the board, they could easily give me 200 million, but they're not, which seems a bit unfair. We've got so much money in the bank, and we've won we're the biggest team in the world. And it would be nice to be able to get that Chelsea goalkeeper that I really want, and then bring through a couple other wonder kids that are ridiculously expensive. Would be nice to be able to do that. But anyway, we will end it there. Thank you for watching episode 12 of this West Ham Creating a Legacy series. Like I said, it might be a few days, a week or two until episode 13. Gives you a chance to have a break and maybe watch some of my other content on my channel that I've uploaded that you've never watched before. But until next time, enjoy FM20. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see you very soon.